Good morning, children. In today's session, we shall be examining an important part of writing, that is, formal letter. So let's begin the same. Before we understand what is formal letter, let's try to think over what is a letter. We can say that a letter is a written message conveyed from one person to another through the medium of post. It means that it is a communication in written form. Children, basically there are two types of letter: formal letter and informal letter. Formal letter is written for an official purpose, whereas we use informal letter for personal communication. The language that is used in formal letter is purely formal. We don't use colloquialism or contracted forms, whereas we maintain a casual or emotional tone while writing an informal letter. Thirdly, formal letters are written to persons of authority like the principal, the mayor, the police commissioner, the editor, etc. Whereas informal letters are written to our family members, friends, relatives, or near and dear ones. Now let's look at the steps to write formal letter. We begin the letter writing with the sender's address. Usually the question may come in two different ways. In the first type, the sender's address will be mentioned in the question itself. So all you have to do is just copy the address as it is given in the question. In case the sender's address is not mentioned in the question, then we have to prepare an address. Remember to keep the address short. You may use maximum 3 lines for writing the address. Once the sender's address is completed, we shall leave a line and then write the date. Here again, don't write the date in the numeric form. This is considered to be incorrect. We have to follow the format wherein the day, month and the year is mentioned very clearly. Again, at the completion of the date, we may leave a line. And then we proceed to the receiver's address. Imagine that you are writing a letter to the principal of Royal Public School. Here, children tend to copy the receiver's address as it is given in the question. And they may write, the principal of Royal Public School, Mumbai. In this address, the use of preposition of is considered to be incorrect. We should not be using it. Rather, the address should be the principal, Royal Public School, Mumbai. Always remember to use the article the before the designation of the receiver, like the mayor, the police commissioner, the editor, and so on. After completing the receiver's address, we shall again leave a line. And then we come to the subject. The subject refers to the purpose or the reason for writing the letter. The subject should be very short, but it should convey the reason for writing the letter. Here too, we begin the subject by using nouns like complaint, request, application, or the main content of the letter. Once the subject is completed, we shall again leave a line. Now children, please remember that all these items should be written on the left hand side of the letter. The next part of the letter is salutation. Earlier we used to write respected sir or respected ma'am. These days, however, we use dear sir or dear ma'am while writing the letter. After writing this, again we shall leave a line and then we move on to the most important part of the letter, that is the body of the letter, which is actually the message. This should be written in 3 paragraphs. The body of the letter is divided into 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph is the introduction. Introduction should be short. Here we mention who is writing the letter and why is the letter being written. Followed by the second paragraph, which conveys the main content of the letter. Here the problem will be dealt in detail. The main purpose of writing the letter will be described in detail. And then the last paragraph conveys a summary. Here the sender will summarize all the points for writing this letter. Now we move on to the last part of the letter, that is complimentary close. We begin with thank you and then we mention yours faithfully. If you observe this line very carefully, you will notice that there is a mistake, a common mistake that most of us make, the use of the apostrophe S. So it should be actually yours faithfully, or we may use yours sincerely. If a child is writing a letter to the class teacher or to the principal, then we may even mention yours obediently. Don't write all these 3 things together. Either one of them has to be written after thank you. And finally, we conclude the letter with the name and signature of the person who is writing the letter. Now, let's quickly recap the 8 important steps of writing the letter. First, we begin with the sender's address, followed with the date, and then we move on to the receiver's address and subject, salutation, the body of the letter, which is divided into 3 parts: introduction, body, and summary. Then complimentary close with the name and signature. I hope the steps of writing a formal letter is clear to one and all. Thank you all for being so patient. Meet you soon in my next video.